Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another book vlog. I've decided that these are going to be a lot more regular in my channel because this is my new thing. 2023 was the year that I got into reading. I've recently started creating a lot more content, so I'm really excited to start this content on YouTube as well because it was mainly on TikTok, which I will leave it down below because yes, I am on booktok. It's just gonna be an all over book video. I have a book haul, we're gonna be reading together, and I'm gonna be sharing with you my monthly TBR. I'm gonna start with a book haul because let me tell you, it's a long one. These are the books that I got in the past month, I think. Oh, I did change my room a little bit as well, so now I have a little book nook. First book I got is On Dublin Street by Samantha Young. This is the book this is the book that sparked my obsession and love for spice romances. I bought this like 7 or 8 years ago, but I bought the Greek version of it because I was in Greece, and that just made me fall in love with reading. It was the first book I ever read. I don't know what made me get this book, but I did, and I'm so glad I did, and I read it so fast and I absolutely loved it. So now that I remember the title, I thought I'll just buy it in English and see what it's like and what made me fall in love with it. I remember I loved it. So then I got The 7 Year Slave by Ashley Postron. I've seen this all over booktube, like people loving this book. I saw that one of my favorite booktubers, Sarah Crowley, loves this book, so I was like, I need to give it a shot. And it's quite a small book as well, which makes it kind of easy to read. It's about this girl that her aunt dies, and then she gets her apartment, and then all of a sudden she's like 7 years later. Oh no. And all of a sudden she lives in the past, like 7 years ago, and apparently like the timeline is 7 years ago and now 7 years ago now. Might be wrong, but I was really intrigued. Then I have Carmilla by Sheridan Le Fanu. Apparently this is what inspired Dracula. Dracula is not an original story. This is what inspired him. This is the original story, and it's about a woman Dracula. So I'm really excited, and it's very small as well. I've never read anything like too classic before, and I'm actually really excited. It's only 156 pages long, which I think it's gonna be quite easy read. So then I got Carrie Sutter's Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I don't know, I think I love Taylor Jenkins Reid because I don't know whether what I'm reading is real or fake. When I was reading Daisy Jones and the Six, I fully googled, is Daisy Jones and the Six a real band? Because I thought it was a real band, but turns out it's not. I saw Heather's book club saying that this was on her top reads of 2023, and I was like, I'll give it a shot because I like Taylor Jenkins Reid. Her writing is very specific, and her books are very like, I think most of them have to do with the past. This, for example, is taking place in 1985? Oh, 1975. Anyway, really old, like in the 90s, like 70s to 90s, I'll probably say. And it's not even that big. I'll give it a shot. It's about a tennis player. Something happens and then she stops playing tennis and then she comes back. It's just basically to reclaim her rightful place at the top. And I think it's kind of like a rival story, which I was really intrigued. Then we have the infamous Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I have seen this book everywhere. Apparently it's the perfect enemies to lovers like vibe. I have no idea what it's about. I just know that it's fantasy and it's the perfect enemies to lovers, but I know the second one is coming out this year, so I want to read this before the second one comes out. So then we have The Atlas Paradox by Olivia Blake. Have I read The Atlas X? No, it's still in my bookshelf. I just really want to get into Olivia Blake. I just have so many books to get through that her big ass fantasy is just not in my priority right now. But I know lots of people love this, and I really want to give it a shot because it sounds amazing, to be honest. I know it has to do like with magic and like 6 gifted people do something in the first one. Something about found family apparently, so okay. Then I bought Lilac. Do not ask me why I bought Lilac. I was looking for The Prison Healer. They didn't have it, and I really wanted to buy a book because I was just in the mood to buy a book and I didn't like anything else, so I saw that, and I remember it being on my Goodreads list, and I was like, I do not remember what this is about, but I remembered I wanted to read it. Something sparked something in me to read it. So it's like, again, like games between rivals, like Hunger Games, I guess, like a deadly game. I I don't know, it seems fun. So don't ask me why I got this book. I got Babel by R.F. Kuang. It's the aesthetic of it that made me get it. Like that university, I think it's in Oxford, like the vibe of it. It's a historical fantasy, which I've heard it's a lot more difficult to get into. Like the font, first of all, is tiny. Like the font is tiny, and it's not escapism. It's like more of like a real life type of feel, and I don't know how I feel about this yet. I don't think I'm physically and mentally ready for this yet, but I like it sitting in my bookshelf. So, and then I actually did find The Prison Healer by Lynn and Oni. I really want to get into this trilogy, and I've heard people say that the ending of this is actually crazy. Like it's quite slow in the beginning and then it gets crazy, but I won't know until I read it myself. All I know is that this woman is a prison healer, obviously, so, and she goes into prison again. Yeah, I think she is forbidden to play the games. I don't know, I'm not sure. It's very complicated in my mind right now, but I just have a feeling it's gonna be good. Then I have One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. Everybody loves this. Everybody loves the second one more than the first one, but I refuse to buy the second one unless I've read this one, because what if I don't like this? I mean, I know I will, but again, all I know about this one is that this girl has like a curse or like a disease or like both, and she needs to find the cure. Oh my god, I might be totally wrong, but I do know that the magic system in this book is tarot cards, which I find this very intriguing. And then saying that I want to get more into Olivia Blake's writing, I got One for My Enemy. And one of my favorite booktokers, Madison Kite, just talks and talks about this book and how good it is, and I need to know what's so good about this. It's like a retelling of Shakespeare and in modern day New York, but it's with witches. And that's all you need to tell me. That's all I need to know. I don't need to know more. Like modern day fantasy with the magic system in New York. Yeah. And I found family, so. And to go along with that, I got Masters of Death. This is one of the books that I actually have no idea what it's about. I know again that it's like a rival families, ghost infestations, vampires, very cool shit like that. And then because of the January sales, I got A Curse of True Love. Again, I have these two books, which are the first two in the series, Once Upon a Broken Heart and The Ballad of Never After, which you guessed it, I have not read yet. My reading game at the end of 2023 was so slow. It was just so bad because I was reading Iron Flame for like 2 months, what it felt like, and it really put me in a slump. So I've fallen behind and I've got loads of books to get through, but that's what 2024 is for. So I got this because it was half price, and you know, hardbacks are expensive. And then another one that was 50% off, Never by Jessa Hastings. I have no idea what this is about. All I know is like a Peter Pan retelling. This is so cute, but I love Jessa Hastings, so I'll give this a chance. I'm gonna show you my January TBR so far. I always do a TBR and then I'm like, I never read anything off of the TBR. I'm such a mood reader that my TBR just changes constantly. I did finish Iron Flame in the beginning of the month, and that was like a 3.5. I'm not gonna lie. Fourth Wing was a 6-star read. It was superior, but Iron Flame, it was very slow. I mean, I can do a whole separate video on that because that book kind of like traumatized me. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it was like some things were just so unnecessary and so dragged out that made me feel like, oh my god, can this be over? And then I wanted a palette cleanser, you know, like a good romance palette cleanser, and I decided to dive into the Ashley Silver universe. I started Flawless and I finished it in a day. That's the fastest I've ever read a book, and first time I actually annotated a book. Can you see? Like, it's not even that many annotations, but for me it's something anyway. I found my new love for annotations. Like, why have I not been annotating my books? I love this. I ate this up. It gave me a 5-star feeling because it was a 5-star read for me. I loved it so much. And then of course I needed to know more about the series, so I'm currently reading Heartless, which is the second book in the series. This is about the second brother in the series. It's the older brother, Cade, and his nanny, which is Summer's best friend from the first book. And it's kind of like a single dad nanny trope, and I did not think I was gonna like it, but I'm actually kind of enjoying it so far. I mean, my annotations have not been that many. I've only annotated 2 things so far, and I'm on chapter 17. I feel like this book is gonna fall apart. I'm on page 205 and I'm planning on finishing this tomorrow. I just said spoiler, which I knew that would happen, but so we're gonna read this right now together. Let's set the mood. I don't know how I feel about this book just yet. I mean, I'm not as hooked as I was when I was reading Flawless. I feel like I'm not the one for the single dad trope. I mean, it's not bad, but like I'm in the middle of the book and the part with like when the kid gets like ill, but I don't mind it. I really like Willa. I think she's so funny. I think she's the funniest out of all the characters so far, but I did relate to Summer a little bit more, the way her character was built and everything like that. But I love Willa. It's just Kate that I'm a bit like, what are you doing? I mean, I know where he's coming from, but he is pissing me off. But it's good. Like, it's a good read, and now they're just getting a little bit more like open with their feelings, and I don't mind it. I'm in chapter 18 and I've only annotated 3 things, but so far I do prefer Flawless, if I'm being honest. I'll go read a little bit more and I will update you soon. It's a little past 10 o'clock. And I did take a little break, so I'm on page 307, and these guys have finally, you know, I am liking it a little bit more, and I did annotate a few more things. I'm gonna say Kate's story is a little bit deeper than Rhett's, but I don't know, there was something about the first book that I just like ate it up, and I'll probably call it night. But 26-year-old grandma, and I'll see you tomorrow. I look crazy, but it's just really cold. I can't. It's currently Tuesday. I did not read anything yesterday because I was just so tired, and I ended up watching My Demon on Netflix. I'm currently obsessed with it, so I didn't read anything. I'm currently on page 307 and I've got like 140 pages left or something like that. But I'm flying through this book. I don't know what Elsie Silver puts in her books, but I'm flying through them. Although this is taking me a little bit longer to finish because I don't read every day because I'm just tired. I'm flying through her books. Like, her writing is so easy to follow and so easy to get into the story that it's just, I don't know, I love them. I love them so much, and it's just what I needed after reading Iron Flame, which took me 2 months to finish. So I just finished Heartless. I probably need to sit on my rating for a little while, but I think this is gonna be like a 4.5 or like a 4.75. It was not a 5-star because there were parts that I was like, you know, I felt like I connected to Summer from Flawless from the first book a little bit more, but Willow is definitely funnier and the story is like a lot deeper and it has more like meaning to it, and you can see Kate's character development and the way it just all unfolds. Only reason I'm not giving it 5 stars is because it had some parts that I was just not feeling the 5-star feel, but I loved it regardless. It's probably like a 4.75. I did not expect to love that single dad trope as much as I did. Like, the relationship that she developed with both the dad and the child, I did not expect to like it as much as I did, because I'm not the one to like children in books or in general. So on, I ate it up and it's done. So I can see why people love this book so much. So 4.75. Hey everyone, it's the next day and I'm still in the same clothes because I refuse to put anything less than this because it's -3 degrees and I refused. We're getting into a new book. I decided to read Magnolia Parks, The Long Way Home, because I haven't read Magnolia since this summer. I read Magnolia and Daisy back to back and then I was like, I need a break, and I never picked it up because honestly I am scared of how big it is. It's 500 pages long. I'm scared, like the size scares me. Got my little set right here, so I'm ready. Have my water, have my coffee. I have beef with this book. Like, tell me how I'm like 17 pages into this book and I've already annotated like a good part of it, and it's all in BJ's chapter. Like, the things that he says about Magnolia, like, well, if you've not read it, then, well, if you've read it, you'll know. I'm 17 pages in and I feel that this book is gonna rip my heart into pieces and throw it. I don't know if I'm ready, but I'm just loving it so far. Like, the way, oh no, you know what, I can't, I'm not gonna say anything because I know I'm gonna spoil it. I don't know if it's because I'm about to get my period and I'm like extra emotional these days. This book is just hitting. It's hitting everything that it needs to hit, and I'm only 23 pages in. And I don't know how it's gonna unravel and how it's gonna go down, but I have a feeling it's gonna be very, very bad. I missed this little text. Okay. I don't know what Jessa put in this box, but why do I feel like I am living their life? Why do I feel like I'm there on the spot with those outfits, just living and experiencing what they're experiencing? I'm not even that far in. Like, I've read 50 pages and I'm just right sucked back into this universe. But like, this time it feels so much better, because the first book felt like kind of like a build up for the story, and this one is where she actually is really gonna go down. That's what it feels like to me. I'm probably gonna call it a night though, because I am getting a little sleepy, but so far I am obsessed. Like, this book has given me life. Oh shit. Oh, I'm just so excited to get back into the story. Oh, I'm just so tired, but I'm so glad I picked Magnolia up again, because shit is about to go down. It's been a week since I last filmed, because don't ask me why, but I'm like halfway through Magnolia Parks. The long way home is taking me a little bit longer to finish because I am a little bit busy, but that's not necessarily like a bad thing. I'm just loving it. I've already annotated so much of it. Let me just read you one quote. It's not a spoiler, I promise. I wonder if we'll ever not be like magnets, not be those two things that drift home to each other, no matter what. I can't wait to start the next one, Daisy Hates the Great Undoing, and just be done with the series before the new one comes out at the end of this month. No, it's not the end of this month, it's like right before Valentine's. It's right before Valentine's Day. Since we're here, I'm gonna do my February TBR. It's gonna be unrealistic, but we're gonna roll with it. The first book I want to read in Feb is Daisy Hates the Great Undoing. I'm just so excited to finish this series. So far, this has been my favorite one, although I know I've not finished it yet. But so far, I'm so hooked on this one that I just don't care about anything else. That's book number one. Then I want to read Powerless by Lauren Roberts. Everyone in my For You page on my booktube, everyone's read this book except me, and I want to know why it's so special. It's apparently the perfect enemies to lovers, fantasy, romancy kind of vibe, and I want to know why Kai is such a hyped book boyfriend. So that's high up on my list as well for February. Then I've been really intrigued by this book right here. This is A 7 Year Slave by Ashley Poston. I have not really seen this book that many times, but some of my favorite booktubers just talk about this book and how good it is. Apparently it's about a girl that inherits her aunt's apartment when she dies, and then it's like a magic thing going on, and then she fast forwards to 70 years into the future, and then she keeps just like jumping back and forth, if I'm not wrong, and then she meets someone, and I'm like really confused, but I'm really intrigued, and it's like a really like small kind of palette cleanser, I guess, so I'm excited to get into this. Okay, seriously, 2024 is gonna be the year that I finish Throne of Glass. Okay, so far I've only read the first book in the series, which I read like a few months ago, and it did take me a little while to read it, although it's not a big book, so it takes me a while to get into the world building and everything like that, but we are doing it this year. Crown of Midnight is in the Feb TBR. It is. We are doing it. We're reading Crown of Midnight. We're moving forward, because I can't stand seeing people flying through these books and me being stuck here. I just get FOMO. I'm really excited to get into Queen of Shadows. So I don't know, if you ask me what these books are about, I have no idea. I've only read one and I could not tell you what it was about. I am feeling ambitious this month, so we're falling back into the Twisted series. I read Twisted Love almost a year ago, and I'm not gonna lie, I did not love it. Like, it was a fun, easy read. It was a quick read. It was okay, but it was not memorable. It did not give, and it was like very questionable at some parts, and I'm not talking about the singing part, I'm talking about the end. Like, it was very questionable, but I've heard people saying that the rest of the series is so much better than the first one, and I decided to give it another chance and not judge a series by its first book. I have a strong feeling that these are gonna be so good. I can feel it. I love my little reading corner. I'm so excited. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this vlog. It was so much fun to film, and expect more of this coming, because reading is officially in this channel. Make sure you subscribe.